popular to my bottom, but it's just one of those things where I watched it or I played it and then just didn't moist meter it because I wasn't thinking about it. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to play a little catch up here for things that I didn't release a moist meter for, and I know the absence of a moist meter on these big titles probably left people feeling cold and alone out in the rain without any guidance. So I know it's a little late, but better than never. Let's go ahead and start with the Dead Space remake. I streamed the whole game. I loved it. It's a fucking amazing remake. Now, it's not a remake in the same sense of something like Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 3 or most likely Resident Evil 4 remake. It's not like they rebuilt and reimagined this game in a different way. They took everything that was already outstanding about Dead Space, which is an absolute classic. That game is still iconic. And they just added to it. They didn't make anything worse. They just made everything better. Visuals, they added more lore, more characters. And this time around, Isaac actually talks, which is so much better than the silent protagonist. Because every time, this is just a little pet peeve, every time they do a little silent protagonist shit, it always feels like I'm playing someone who's been lobotomized and everyone has to patronize me. Like they're babying me. Like in the original Dead Space, for example, there'll be a conversation that Isaac's not taking part in because he didn't talk. They'll be like, Isaac, did you repair the toilet in the women's restroom? And Isaac doesn't say anything, but then they just kind of fill in the blanks for you, like, oh, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did fix the toilet, Isaac. Such a good boy, such a big boy. Like, without you ever contributing to anything, it just always feels like you're more of an active spectator as opposed to a real character in the story. I am just not a fan of the whole silent protagonist angle. I never really liked the excuse of you could project yourself onto the character, because that doesn't really work either if you're not actually partaking in the story or making decisions like that. So I am very happy that they actually added dialogue for him, and I think they've done a good job with it. They, of course, did change the way Isaac looks, but I don't think that is a detriment to the game at all. I think it's completely fine. I think they've done a great job with everything. This is just like the best way of experiencing Dead Space if you haven't played it, or even if you have, this is a great way of getting back into the rodeo and having a great time in the Dead Space world. It was just a ton of fucking fun. Everything to love about Dead Space is still intact in the Dead Space remake, with some absolutely beautiful, tasty frosting on top of that already amazing cake. I think it's just an outstanding remake. Plugging it into the moist meter, I'd easily give this like a 95%. It's probably like one of my favorite remakes, because not only is it an amazing game, but they just did everything right. Visually, it is a huge upgrade, and I will never understand the complaints from people that probably never even played the original saying that it doesn't look that much better. It is night and day. Go back and look at original Dead Space compared to the remake. It's not even fucking close. It's in a completely different ballpark. It is a beautiful game. It is a big improvement on an already amazing game. So I just think Dead Space Remake is fantastic. Moving on to the next big thing that came out that I didn't moist meter, Puss in Boots 2 Last Wish. I did see this movie. I saw it about a week after it came out, and I loved it. I think the movie is extremely good. The hype that surrounds the film is absolutely accurate. It lives up to the hype. And I'd even say some people undersell how much fun it is to watch. The action in here is very inspired by like the way Into the Spider-Verse does it. It's fucking great. And the main villain that I'm sure all of you have seen now, the wolf with the two little tiny handheld scythes, dual wielding these little scythes. I don't know what the actual fucking weapon's called. I'm sorry, Forged in Fire fans, but it's that blade, like that giant, like, hooked blade that looks like almost a question mark that he's holding. Like, those weapons are really cool, but that character is super badass. The fights between him and Puss in Boots are really impressive. This isn't like some kind of boring Looney Tunes fight where there's only like a little bit happening. They go hog wild. Like, there was times I was like, wow, I feel like I'm watching a top 10 anime shonen moment. It's like, they really put a big emphasis on the action, and they do a great job with it. It's flashy, it's fun, and it also has a really good story. It's nothing that's going to be groundbreaking, but it's also not afraid to be dark. It tackles mortality, overcoming the fear of death. Like, how do people deal knowing that they're going to die? Do you hide away, not take any risks, or do you go out there and try and live to the absolute fullest? There's really nothing that I disliked about this movie. I had a great time watching it. I guess the only thing that I was kind of disappointed by is the absence of some Counting Crows. When I'm thinking anything in the Shrek universe, I'm thinking accidentally in love, you know? Like, where's the Counting Crows at, you know? I feel like there could have been a great montage of Puss in Boots fucking beating ass, eating ass, while you got Counting Crows blaring in the background, but, you know, You can't have everything, I suppose. It was a great movie though. I really did enjoy it, and I do think it lives up to the hype. And I'm really excited for the future of it. And I'm glad that it's done so well in the box office because having more animated films like this is a great thing. Puss in Boots: Last Wish absolutely gets a 90% on the moist meter. I was debating whether it'd be a 95% or not, but I don't know if it's better than something like Redline or Into the Spider-Verse, but it's very close, so it teeters on a 90 to 95%. I'll give it like that little range there. It's a really good movie. And now, speaking of good movies, time to wipe our ass with that whole thing because we're moving on to a bad movie. It's M. Night Shyamalan's new film, Knock at the Cabin. It's not a bad movie, I'm kind of exaggerating. It's a very cool concept executed in the goofiest way possible, which unfortunately seems very par for the course for modern M. Night Shyamalan films. So Knock at the Cabin, I'm sure you've seen the previews for. There's this family that goes to a cabin, and then 4 people show up saying that they're going to have to make a choice to sacrifice one of the family members in order to prevent the apocalypse. That's the whole idea of the film, so it tackles, is this family going to sacrifice someone to save the world? Is the world really even about to, fucking explode into this giant doomsday, this Armageddon? Or are these 4 people that are there just insane? Cultists, fanatics, weirdos, goofballs. At the end of the day, they're a random family. Why would their sacrifice for some reason prevent the entire world from just getting fucking blasted? So it's a cool idea, but it is just not a good movie. I'm going to get into spoilers for this one because it's the only way I can really even criticize it since all of it has to deal with the way that this concept is executed. So just fair warning, I'm going to get into spoilers for this film. But honestly, I'm kind of doing you a favor because it's just not that great in general. So the family that visits this cabin is a couple and their daughter. And the couple is 2 men. So they're a gay couple, and they believe that once they were visited by these 4 strangers that they were targeted because of homophobia or something like that. And I thought this was going to play into the film because at one point, one of the strangers did lie about their name, and the stranger was actually a homophobe that attacked one of the men at a bar. But that never mattered. He proved that he lied about his identity to the other 3 strangers and that guy did have a connection directly with the couple in a very negative way. So I thought this was going to play on the idea like, oh, maybe this really is just kind of one big scam and these are just some like actual fucking awful weirdos. But it doesn't. The trailers also put a big focus on the little girl, and I'll tell you right now, she does nothing in this film and she maybe has 10 total lines. She has no role to play in this movie at all. Really, nobody does. This movie tries to throw things at you like one of the plagues that they're talking about that's going to ruin the earth after they've refused to make the sacrifice a couple times is a sickness. And the sickness is a virus that starts spreading. They turn on the news, they see the virus is spreading. But then one of the men is like, no, this is actually a big lie. This virus has been spreading well before we even got to this cabin. They're trying to pretend like what's happening right here is the result of us not killing each other. And it's like, oh, okay, so maybe it is a big lie. And I thought it was going to play like with the psychological aspect of, is it true or is it not? But it doesn't. They kind of like sprinkle these red herrings in there, but not in a really effective way because at the very end of the day, nothing that happens in that cabin matters because everything plays out exactly as Dave Bautista says. Dave Bautista is the fucking prophet, and everything he said was 100% accurate. So the twist in this film is that there's no twist. Everything just follows this like on rails fucking Disney ride of exactly what they were saying is 100% the truth and exactly what's happening. So ultimately, everything that's going on in the cabin is kind of fucking worthless until the very end where one of them does make a sacrifice to prevent the apocalypse because planes are falling out of the sky now. It was just really underwhelming. Oh, and also, even just thinking about the movie just made me fucking sneeze. But also, another thing is the movie is rated R. They're saying fucking shit and there's blood. Kind of. Every time that something happens where someone dies because the 4 strangers, in order to release the plague after the decision has been made to not sacrifice one of the family members, they kill one of them. And they do that by bashing their skull in. But even though it's R, they don't actually show that. So they'll show them like getting down on their knees saying a choice was made, humanity's been judged, and right before they hit them with it, they'll pan the camera up so you can't see it, you can only hear it, or they'll just get out of the cabin entirely and you can only hear it. So even though it's R, it doesn't even show you the disturbing stuff. You just hear it, which is highly underwhelming as well, and it takes a lot of this, like, the intensity out of these moments, because then you're no longer even bearing witness to the fucking craziness of it. Like, everything about the film is just super underwhelming. Like, had they actually came in with more of playing around psychologically of if it's fake or if it's real, I think they could have had something very fun here and pretty interesting, because the concept, I think, is interesting. But it just falls so flat. It really does. Plugging Knock at the cabin into the moist meter, I'm giving it a 50%. Like, I think Dave Bautista does a great job, as well as all the other actors, but they can't carry just weak material. So it's just not overall a good movie. Now, the last property that I didn't moist meter is one that people have not stopped pestering me about. This was probably one of the biggest films to release of the last decade, and I didn't moist meter it, which is kind of shameful, but I'm doing it now. It's 80 for Brady. 80 for Brady is a story about 4 80-year-old women that go to the Super Bowl because they love Tom Brady. And, man, I gotta tell you, the only reason we saw this is because it was so silly looking. Like, why would this even exist as a film? So we kind of saw it as a joke, Andrew, Aaron, and I. But I gotta be honest, it's not a bad movie at all. It was actually a good movie. And what made it very special is the theater was fucking packed, and we were the youngest people there by about 50 years. Every single person in that theater was also probably around 80 years old, and a lot of them had Tom Brady jerseys on. It was absolutely adorable. The film itself is also competently made. Like, yeah, a lot of the jokes are geared towards geriatric people. Like, a lot of the jokes are, you know, the old women screaming or the old women doing some silly dances, but since they're, you know, up there in age, they can't really do the big dance moves, so it's usually them doing some of this. And, like, it's actually just adorable, but there are some good jokes in there that aren't, like, bad. For some reason, there's big cameos, like Guy Fieri's in there. Like, it's just not a bad movie at all. It was, like, a really positive film. Right now, we're in an age of movies where they all want to go really dark and grim, where everything's kind of doom and gloom for a little while, taking, like, really, you know, somber spins and everything. This movie was 100% just positivity from start to finish, which was really kind of refreshing. And the theater that we were in loved it. They were giggling and clapping at times, like when Tom Brady made a good pass and the women were appreciating it. This movie is also produced by Tom Brady, so this man literally made this movie to just pad his own ego, which is fucking beautiful. He acts in it too, and I tell ya, he smolders. Every scene Tom Brady's in, he's just giving like this direct stare down, and since he got his like buccal fat removed, he's got like these, you know, his cheeks are really in, and he's like, Lou, just remember what I did when I played the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl and led one of the most historic comebacks in NFL history. Lou, you guys can do it. Like, that's the extent of Tom Brady's acting, and he does that like 1,000 times. It's so silly, but in a good way. Like, yeah, it's kind of hard to watch where you're like, oof, Jesus, Tom. You're like, you know, you're not winning any Oscars here, but god damn it, he's trying, and that's appreciated. It's just a movie where I have no complaints because it'd be silly to complain about it. We knew exactly what we were going to get going into it, but it was even better than we thought in that regard, where it really was just an enjoyable comedy flick. I also appreciated the goofiness of it because it's somewhat inspired by a true story, because some old women did go to the Super Bowl, and they kind of took that idea and went a little hog wild with it. So the women do drugs at a party and shit like that. And then at one point, the old women even win the Super Bowl for the Patriots. This follows the Super Bowl against the Falcons, where they were down by a ton going into the very final stretch. Well, in this movie, in that final stretch, the 4 old women break into the offensive coordinator's booth and start running plays for them. And they give an inspirational speech to Tom Brady, who's listening on his helmet, and he's shaking his head and then saying thank you. And then they go out and win the game. It's so uplifting. 80 for Brady, I'm giving an easy 80% to. This shit kind of goes hard. So yeah, anyway, these were like the big things that I played and saw recently that I didn't moist meter when I really should have. So this is just me catching up with all of it, and that's about it. So yeah. I'm about to scare every mainstream media outlet with one.
Welcome back to the There is a young woman on TikTok who has recently blown up, like in the past 3 months, after she posted a video of herself coming out and explaining her gender identity, and it went viral. She is trigender. What? That is a new one, and we're talking about that today. But before we get into it, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to this channel if you have not already. And I was saying something a couple of weeks ago. I was like, I know that 50% of you guys watch without subscribing, and I was saying, come on, click that button, and you guys actually have, which made me laugh. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being here. And after you subscribe, make sure you ring that notification bell so that you never miss a comment section or off the clock episode. Alrighty, so this young woman's name is Emily. She is 20 years old, so very close to my age, and her username is Future Forecaster. You guys might have seen her pop up on your For You page. She has been living on mine for the last couple of months after she blew up. You can see her bio is your gay, witchy wine aunt, which I'm not going to get into this right now, but there are so many of these young women who are, you know, like gender questioning or whatever you want to call it, and they all call themselves like aunts. They have that in their bio, like your fun aunt, the cool aunt, your witchy wine aunt. It's interesting. I'm guessing probably because it taps into like a feminine role that they like want to have while not having to be a mother or a wife, because obviously that would be oppression and, you know, giving into the patriarchy or whatever it is, so they're just gonna call themselves like the crazy wine aunt. I don't know. We can have that discussion another day. It's just a trend that I've noticed, and Emily is definitely getting into it. This is her original video that went viral in November. It has almost 5 million views now. Sadly, the comments have now been turned off. Just warning you guys, sadly a bummer, but let's just get into it. This is where she comes out.
I am trigender, which means like a triangle, I have 3 genders: male, female, and non-binary. And the difference between trigender and gender fluid is that I feel all 3 of these genders at the same time. All the time. It doesn't ever shift or change, or where I feel one gender more strongly than the other, like gender fluid tends to be. So how I feel gender-wise is like a man, like a woman, and as neither at the same time. I hope this clears things up.
It did not clear anything up whatsoever. It just made most of the internet very confused and a little taken aback.
What the hell is even that?
What you are describing as trigender and what you feel on a daily basis, that's just the normal human experience. That is the normal human range of emotions and personalities. I am a woman. There are parts of me that are incredibly feminine, but I also am more masculine than a lot of my female peers. I grew up as a tomboy. I had like a ridiculous page boy haircut and wore overalls literally every day and played in the dirt and then did things like rock climb, and I love shooting guns. That doesn't make me less of a woman or more of a man. It just means that I have a varying array of interests and maybe a more masculine energy sometimes. My identity doesn't change. It's just my personality and who I am. We're all incredibly unique individuals. You do not need to slap a label on yourself and box yourself into this weird triangle in order to feel special. You are special the way you are. Like, for lack of a better word, I don't mean to be cliche and be like, oh my god, you're a, you know, special little snowflake princess, but like, we are all unique. That is the very cool part about being human. You do not need to put a label on it and say that you're some kind of new identity. It's incredibly confusing.
It don't make no more sense.
I have seen a lot of stuff on the internet. I mean, I have only been doing this show for 1 year, and yet it still feels like 10 decades because of the amount of incredibly insane content that I have consumed. But I have never heard of trigender before this video. And I saw it right after it came out, and I kind of was like, oh, okay, that's weird, whatever. But now that she's really blowing up again, and I'm seeing so many more videos from her, I kind of wanted to touch on it. And apparently I'm not alone in not understanding trigender, because when you search it on TikTok, nothing comes up. It's just her videos. And then people stitching them and saying, what the hell is going on? And then people in their comment sections who are like crazy, angry, they, them, being like, don't tell her what she can and cannot be. But really, I don't think they understand what's going on either. And I'm pointing out the whole like searching on TikTok thing, because usually when you search, you know, pansexual, transgender, any of these things, you know, pronouns, neo-pronouns, there is so much that comes up. I mean, it is a cesspool. It is a sad, sad place. And literally, it was just her. Like, here are some of the videos of people reacting.
I am trigender, which means like a triangle, I have 3 genders.
Now that small, short video alone has 235,000 likes. Her comment section was popping off and most people were agreeing with her. Somebody said, I'm trigender too, rich, millionaire, and billionaire. Another person said, I'm trying not to laugh in 3 different ways. Somebody else said, one's not enough, I'm a circle from eating. Another person said, I am tri-patience right now, as in you are trying all of my patience right now. This guy did another video. It's a little more aggressive and people did not like it whatsoever, but like these are the stitches that are out there.
Which means like a triangle, I have 3 genders. Male, female.
Trigender? You don't want to try and cop onto yourself?
Moving on, I did some research because nobody had any answers of what this actually was other than Emily's first description. So obviously, I go into the University of Rhode Island's LGBTQ identities glossary. I'm so glad that I had this on hand. Let's scroll through all 50 million of them, all the way down to the bottom. Here we go, all of these. Oh, gender, that's great. Never heard of that before. Here we go, we're still scrolling, everybody. We are still scrolling. Here we go at the very bottom. Trigender. This is a gender identity term that most often means one of 2 things. Okay, so they're not even sure. Great. First, a trigender person may feel as though they are not a man or a woman, but are also not in between those 2 labels. As such, a trigender person defines their identity in a 3rd category, which is not situated in between man or woman. It's totally separate. Second, trigender can also mean a person who feels that they are a blending of 3 gender identities, which I think is what Emily is saying. That really did not clear things up at all. I'm going to try Wikipedia. Trigender people experience 3 genders at the same time or moving between 3 at different times. Okay, that just sounds like gender fluid. Nobody knows. These 3 genders can be any gender, either binary or non-binary. Oh good, there's more than 3. That's excellent. Excellent. A trigender person may change from expressing one gender to another depending on that person's mood or situation. That is gender fluid. Am I wrong? Moving on. Trigender falls under the same general category of multigender, having many genders, or sometimes gender fluid, having genders that change from time to time. It can also be considered a type of gender queer or non-binary identity, which goes beyond the Western binary gender system, much as can be seen in cultures that recognize individuals' rights to define their own sense of self. None of this makes sense. Nobody has an answer, because it's all made up.
It's fiction. We made it up. It's a total fabrication.
You are totally free to believe whatever you want about yourself, to express yourself, but do not tell me that this is an actual gender. Nobody has an answer. Even the academics at university, they have no idea. And they've got a long list of identities and they can't wrap this one up. Like, I get what you were trying to say, but again, does not make sense. We are reaching here, and it's exhausting. And the girl, Emily, she has gotten some pushback, so she made some response videos, but overall, like, most people are just cheering her on and affirming and being like, this is so cool, yay, you're so amazing, you're an inspiration, whatever. But just here are some more of her videos that she has made since then, and like, she has been blowing up.
So trigender and the way you identify in it can be very heavily based on your culture and your cultural background. For example, I know in Hawaiian culture, there are 3 genders. There's a 3rd gender. And all in all, it comes from your cultural background. For me, it's more based on if there's man on one side, woman on the other, and non-binary is somewhere in the middle, and then I take up that whole area, the whole bar there.
Taking up
and
space.
I know for a lot of people, non-binary is a completely separate spectrum, and that's just not my experience, but I still think that that's a valid experience.
One thing that is standing out to me here is that in both of these videos we have seen, she's kind of having to backtrack on things and apologize to people in advance so that she's not stepping on any toes. Well, I know you have, this cultural background, and so you can do this. I don't, but it's just my experience, and I don't, you can have this, whatever. It's like, oh my god, these people get so angry. You could be the most interestingly unique gender identity, whatever, and they will still find a problem with it. Because you're stepping on somebody's experience, somebody's gender identity. It's so, so strange. And it breaks my heart because this girl is obviously like trying to find herself and is being affirmed by all these weird people, and yet is still feeling like people are going to be angry at her within that same community because they are so hostile. She actually did like a 30-minute long YouTube video where she explains in more depth. I watched part of it and it was just kind of the same thing over and over again, and then bringing in more historical things. It did not clear things up for me whatsoever. I am still confused. I still believe that it is made up. Truly. In addition to her making videos about being trigender and talking to the camera, she's also just really leaned into making her entire personality about her gender identity. You guys saw the outfit she was wearing, but this is the video of her putting that outfit together. She does a lot of these like get ready with me videos.
I'm feeling prideful today, so I created an obscenely gay and trans outfit. Hope you like it. Let's get ready together. Also, check out my socks. They're trans socks. As always, start with a hairbrush, some water, and don't forget about curl refresher. Oh my gosh, I look so silly, but here we are. Super cute. a necklace today. I have this trans flag necklace with a moon. And you know what? I'm also gonna add on my heart choker.
Okay, we've got to move on. She's also expanded into bath content.
Why are we still here?
That's all I'm gonna say.
Just to suffer.
Hi, let's prepare another bath together. Let's put our lipstick away in here. It goes right on top of the white.
I will say, one thing I've learned from watching this young woman's videos, she is incredibly organized. I think that I'm organized. She has it together. If there's one thing she's got going for her, she is organized. Can all learn a little bit from her. It's like Marie Kondo organization style anyway. All right, we gotta move ahead. She starts talking about a bath worker.
Wow, that really smells like rose. Oh, it's so nice. Okay, let's add in our rose bath bomb that I got from a local bath provider, bath worker. And it's got some nice...
It sounds so wrong. I mean, like, the only thing missing from this video is her getting into her pajamagrams after her bath. Because objectively, the best way to end a night of self-care and relaxation is with your favorite set from Pajamagram. I personally love the Naturally Nude line. They sent me these pajamas a couple of months ago. I've literally worn them consistently since then. I brought them home to Idaho when I went back for Christmas. My mom was obsessed with them. She already knew about Pajamagram, but she had not known about this line, and she was like, oh my god, I need these. They're truly fantastic, and I am somebody that has never really liked pajamas before, and I love these. This would make an excellent last-minute Valentine's Day gift if you want to get your girl something soft, something cozy, but you need to order today because video. Anyway, I hate that in this, I guess, socio-cultural online landscape, I see a video like this that I do believe is innocent. I do believe there is no malintent. She's just trying to show her life. She's doing the day to life things. But immediately I get concerned and I'm like, no, don't post that. Because people out there are such creeps. You cannot feed into that whatsoever. Even if you're getting affirmation, even if you're getting likes and comments, the people out there, they do not have your best interests at heart. You cannot feed into this kind of thing, even hinting it, oh, bath. I mean, no.
Look, I have a question.
Yeah.
If you go through her TikTok comments,
Yeah.
overwhelmingly,
They're so positive.
well, they're not just positive. It's a bunch of chicks.
Yeah.
What is it about chicks commenting? Look at this one. This made my day. These videos make me feel safe. I adore you. You have the most kind and welcoming aura. You're so comforting to watch.
Cry.
I cannot express how much I love her. I love how your outfits always go together. It makes me feel calm knowing everything matches. You're a literal angel. You literally slay, whether it's getting ready for bed or getting ready for the day.
It's weird enough when it's on like some bleach blonde sorority girls post and you see every girl that she knows. Oh my god, Becca, you're so amazing. Becca, oh my god, kill me. Becca, this is so slag. Stop it. It's obnoxious. My mom actually called me out on that when I was in high school because I fed into it and I would comment things like, oh my god, I love you. Oh my god, this is so amazing. And she pulled me aside and she was like, do you actually believe any of that? Like, you are just commenting like it's second nature. You have not spoken to this girl in 3 years, and there's a picture where she looks cute, and you just said, oh my god, Slay, I love you. That's not genuine. And it took me aback, and I remember being really defensive, and I was like, no, like, I'm just being kind. But it is so weird. It is so fabricated. And it obviously is like an esteem booster, and then you feel good about it because you're, you know, loving somebody, and then the girl who's getting all the clicks, it's literally like a hormone booster, and then obviously the girl who's posting is getting this dopamine rush from all these comments, and so like, imagine this girl getting these comments, and then obviously on the other side of it, these weird creepy guys are like, ooh, a girl's taking the whole thing. It's just concerning. Anyway, Sheller, thank you so much for acting out those comments. That's much better than I could have done. All jokes aside, this whole thing just makes me feel for this young woman because, like, obviously she is trying to find herself. She is trying to fit in. She's trying to find her place in the world, and she is being
Yeah, I don't
affirmed
really
by
care.
all of these weird.
Don't care. Weird weirdo. Oh, shit.
Sports Fuel is New Zealand's leading supplement company with thousands of products to suit all.
Don't be complacent. That's the message from Civil Defence as parts of the North Island prepare for Cyclone Gabrielle. Strong winds and heavy rain are expected from Sunday onwards, with warnings the storm could cause widespread damage. We begin tonight's coverage in Auckland, still recovering from last month's severe flooding, with people preparing to leave their homes. Here's Jacob Johnson.
Climbing into drains to clear out debris. picking out anything that could cause a blockage. These volunteers dropping in to help this West Auckland neighbourhood prepare for the coming storm.
The house might slip down the creek, we don't know.
Ron McIntosh's property was hit by the floodwaters a fortnight ago. While his house is okay, this time he isn't taking any chances.
We packed our pills and our clothes and everything, and we're going to move out on probably Saturday night and go and stay with a friend just in case.
Volunteers are sandbagging the properties they think are most at risk, but there are concerns sandbags are in short supply.
This group has around 300.
It's just by chance we happen to have some old sandbags in a storage locker, but we've been calling all the landscape companies and they're just out.
3 sandbagging stations will be open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for as long as we have stocks available on Saturday and Sunday.
While up to 300 millimetres of rain is expected in some areas, there are warnings this cyclone brings dangers different to those 2 weeks ago.
The addition of strong winds and storm surges will mean there are additional risks, and the impacts will compound those that are still being felt.
There are also concerns further south. The government's announced a $100,000 support package for the Coromandel after this major road was wiped out by flooding, among several others. Officials are now preparing for the worst.
It's the 5th severe weather event we have had since November, and we have had an absolute beating.
Supermarkets say their supply chains are robust and they're ready as many stock up.
Toilet paper, some food snacks, rubbish bags and soap, drinks.
Meals for about 3 nights.
Emergency services are on standby.
Only call 111 if your life is at risk. For example, if you or others are trapped.
Those in West Auckland are hoping it won't come to that, clearing remnants of the last storm, preparing for the next. Jacob Johnson, One News.
Hopefully we're okay over in South too, but I guess there's I guess there's not really much we can do, eh?
One Piece is the most successful manga of all time. You can argue all you want about which series may have the best quality, is the most culturally influential, or how iconic they may be. But when it comes down to sales and popularity, One Piece is by far the leader of the pack. It surpassed all other manga, old and new. And by the time it finishes, it'll probably be the highest selling comic, period. But why? What makes this series so much more successful than others? How did it get and hold such a huge fan base? What does Eiichiro Oda do to make One Piece One Piece? Let's break it down. A lot of the time when you ask people what makes One Piece great, they'll usually respond with world building or characters or emotional moments, and that's all true. But one of the more underrated parts of One Piece is the technical aspect of it. In other words, how Oda writes the series. The way he creates, builds, and concludes all of the arcs and sagas while keeping the reader engaged is really something that deserves more credit. One Piece has over 1,000 chapters. Insane. What's even more insane is that there are people who have been reading the series for 15, 20, even 25 years. There's probably someone out there who watched One Piece as a kid and is now watching with their kid, who is the same age as them when they started, which is weird considering that usually manga series, especially the more modern ones, try to conclude their plots as quickly as possible out of fear of losing their audience's interest, which leads to lower sales, which leads to the series getting cancelled early. This has led to arcs getting shorter and shorter and shorter so they can just get to the final battle. But One Piece does the exact opposite. Instead of keeping its arc short to keep the audience engaged, which honestly results in a lot less emotional depth, One Piece actually extends its story with a ton of setup to add more depth and complexity. A great example is how Oda introduced Vivi and Baroque Works, a major character and the main villains of the first significant saga of One Piece, Alabasta. In chapter 103, Vivi first appears as some Team Rocket type villain, but we also learn that she's part of some type of organization. Then, in chapter 107, we learn that the organization's actually called Baroque Works and is full of bounty hunters. Then, in chapter 110, we learn she's actually a princess acting as a spy. Finally, in chapter 113, we learn that Baroque Works is an organization headed by Crocodile, a pirate warlord who has sabotaged and is trying to take over the kingdom of Alabasta. Oda took over 10 chapters to properly introduce Vivi and her conflict after her first appearance when he could have just done it in one by introducing her as a runaway princess. At first sight, it seems like Oda just used mystery to string along his audience, but it wasn't for no reason. In the span of those 10 chapters, Oda 1 showed the desperation and will of Vivi. We see firsthand how Vivi was willing to put herself in harm's way by infiltrating the enemy's organization, so we have a greater appreciation for her character and understanding of how dire her situation is. 2, he introduces us to the main theme of Alabasta, which is friendship. Throughout Alabasta, and especially its ending, we see how important friendship is. So having Vivi's friends sacrifice themselves for her at the start of the saga is a great setup and gives us a preview of what's to come. 3, he fleshed out Baroque Works. Crocodile and Baroque Works are meant to be on the opposite side of the spectrum when it comes to the theme of friendship. So instead of just telling us about how Baroque Works is ruthless and don't care about each other, Oda showed us by having their agents assassinate their comrades, which is way more effective. And 4, he just gave us more crew interactions. In this period, we see how Nami navigates the Grand Line. We also get Zoro versus the 100 bounty hunters, and Luffy's role as a leader is explored more, which is important for future arcs. And it isn't just Vivi's introduction that's a good example. It's the Alabasta saga as a whole. For example, right after this, the crew makes a stop at Little Garden, which seems like just an action-packed mini-story right before Alabasta, but it also establishes how important a man's pride and honor is in the world of One Piece, which makes the scene where Mr. 2 defiles King Cobra's honor so much more impactful, and helps us understand why the citizens of Alabasta would be so angry with him. Then the crew goes to Drum Kingdom, where Oda gives us one of the best flashbacks in the series and does some great world building and setup for future arcs. But he also shows us what happens to a kingdom full of people who have given up on it. Since Alabasta is going down the same path as Drum Kingdom, the tension around the situation Vivi and the Straw Hats are in raises a lot. Most other authors would never spend over 50 chapters of setup for an arc, then spend another 25 chapters during the arc to set up the final battle. But Oda uses the same amount of setup and sometimes even more throughout the whole story for every single saga. He'll have small events that seem like cool little mini stories, but always have deeper messages and purposes that come up later on. It seems simple on the surface, but it's actually a lot harder to execute, which is the reason why you don't see it in other series. A lot of the time when other authors try to extend their story by adding depth, it feels like they're just dragging it, or sometimes it's just downright boring, and people end up dropping the series instead. But Oda is so good and efficient at storytelling that he's able to get so much done while keeping it enjoyable. And the reason he's efficient is the density in almost every single chapter. One of One Piece's strengths, but also one of its weaknesses, is just how much content is in a single chapter. A lot of people complain and say sometimes Oda goes overboard with how much he tries to fit in, and the chapter can sometimes look like a cluttered mess. but in my opinion, it's worth it. Almost every single chapter in this series addresses at least 5 different storylines. There's a reason why there's so many One Piece YouTubers with hundreds of thousands of subscribers that can upload at least 2 different videos a week, and they'll all give different opinions on the same chapter because there's just that much to talk about. I'll even give you an example. So I opened up a random number generator to give me a random One Piece chapter. I got chapter 802. Then I broke down chapter 802. The first 3 pages revolve around the Straw Hat Pirates traveling with the Barto Club, a fan favorite group from the last arc, and lets us know what they've been doing since they left Dressrosa, the last island they were on. Then the story shifts to the Marine headquarters. Here we see Admiral Kizaru for the first time since the time skip over 200 chapters ago. We learn about how the former Whitebeard pirates, a legendary pirate crew that disbanded after their legendary leader, Whitebeard, died, are being hunted down. Kizaru also interestingly mentions how the world government is starting to pay the price of working with pirates, which is something that had been building up for a while. We're also introduced to the 7th warlord of the sea, Weevil, for the first time and learn about how he's possibly Whitebeard's son, has a vendetta against Blackbeard, the killer of Whitebeard and one of the main antagonists of the show, and is being used by his mother to steal Whitebeard's treasure. Then we go back to the Straw Hat Pirates who have just arrived at their new island, which is actually a gigantic elephant called Zoe that has lived for thousands of years. We also learn that there's a species living on it called minks that apparently hate humans. Finally, the chapter ends. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I think I got kind of lucky with this draw, but off the top of my head, I can think of 8 different things to talk about in depth just from this chapter, and that's the benefit of the density of One Piece. While Oda makes sure that the story is cohesive and ties up well at the end, he also keeps in mind the weekly reader. Yeah, sure, sometimes the chapter can turn out a bit messy, but when it gives you so much to think about for the next week or 2, it's definitely worth it. Just from this chapter, you could spend the whole next week thinking about what Weevil is going to contribute to the story, or what the elephant Zoe saw through those hundreds of years he lived, or what's coming next in the Straw Hat's adventure. I could honestly go on and on. Forget the next week, that chapter could last you a month. But what's crazy is you'll forget about all of that when the next chapter comes around and gives you even more things to talk about. It gets to the point where the weekly experience as the arc is coming out is completely different from a new reader reading the arc in bulk, especially when a huge reveal happens or when an especially dense chapter drops. The One Piece community just goes crazy with different theories and opinions. And let me be clear, this kind of thing happens with every manga. When an important chapter drops, everyone gets excited and talks about it. But it's on another level with the One Piece community because the density of every single chapter allows this to happen almost every week. And this density doesn't just stop at the chapter level. Each arc, each saga, and each act is dense with storylines in One Piece. For example, the chapter I talked about is part of the Zoe arc, where in the span of only 22 chapters, Oda shows us what's happening in the outside world by setting up storylines with Weevil and the world government, and he also sets up a conflict between Blackbeard, the main antagonist, and the Revolutionary Army. He also shows us a whole new species with their own history and culture, then introduces us to another storyline with one of the Straw Hats getting abducted by one of the most powerful people in the series, not to mention teasing his own family history. We also learn more things about characters who have been traveling with the Straw Hats for over 200 chapters at this point. The Straw Hats get closer to the goal of getting the One Piece by finding one of the road poneglyphs, which we learn they have to collect all 4 to get to the final island. Raftel, the history of Wano is teased as well in this arc, with us learning about Odin, who traveled with the Pirate King 20 years ago. Momonosuke uses the Breath of All Things, a mysterious power that we thought only Luffy and the last Pirate King had that we still know nothing about. Not to mention the important characters revealed like Jack, Nekomamushi, Inuarashi, Pedro, Raizo, etc. And finally, themes like loyalty, family, and betrayal are introduced. All of this, on top of the plot of the actual island they were on, happens in the span of only 22 chapters. Yeah, there's a reason why the One Piece anime is the only one that can animate less than a chapter per episode. But this kind of fast-paced storytelling wasn't always there for One Piece. Instead, Oda slowly built up to this kind of storytelling through a 3-act structure. A lot of the time when series start, they either take too long to build tension in the story, which can lead to the series getting cancelled, or they advance too much of the plot too fast, which can lead to later arcs getting a bit boring. But One Piece doesn't really have this problem. You see, One Piece can be split into a prologue and 3 parts: Paradise, the Yonko Act, and the final saga. The reason One Piece has gone on as long as it has is the changes it makes in between each of these acts. I'll be honest and say One Piece starts off slower than most series, but that's because it was given the opportunity to do that since it started in the 90s when manga was not as fast paced as it is now. And Oda took advantage of that in the prologue. He set the expectations for his audience low by not having that much tension. This gave him the opportunity to establish the basics of the world he'll be building in the future, like the fact that they live in an ocean world and the different kind of pirates that exist and the different kind of marines that rein them in. He does it through a series of small arcs that have their flashes of greatness, but overall, outside of the final arc, they aren't very exciting, to be frank. But Oda knew this, which is why he drastically changes his style of writing when he begins Act 1 of the story. The first turning point is when the crew enters the Grand Line. In other words, when the series really begins. Oda abandons the standalone, short, surface level arcs he was writing before in favor of longer form arcs that come together and form sagas, and all of those sagas come together to form Act 1. The series gets so much better because of it. The Alabasta arc was so great because of all of the things Oda built in the previous arcs. Skypiea is what it is because of the idea of dreams and inherited will being explored in Jaya. The build up for Enies Lobby is so good that you could reasonably argue that Water 7 is the better arc. But more importantly, Act 1 is a perfect introduction to the world and characters. And that is so important for later parts of the series where it's focused so much on the overarching plot that you don't get much time to really flesh out your main characters again. So most of Act 1 is just character driven. As the story goes on, the crew's personalities pop out more and more. We see their desires, their goals, their values, and their relationships. The character development in Act 1 is almost as good as the world building in my opinion. And speaking of world building, Oda also uses the opportunity to properly introduce the world to us. All the prologue revealed to us was that there were different factions on the seas: the pirates, the warlords, the navy, and the world government. In the introduction, we learn specifically how each of them work. Slowly, the true nature of the world government is revealed. We meet different kinds of pirates, some completely evil and some with hearts of gold. We see the pirate warlords who are supposed to work for the world government, terrorize kingdoms and regular citizens. The diversity of the Navy's members and the different ways they think is fleshed out, and the power system between all of them is established. And above all, the main conflict between Luffy and each of those factions is set up. Then Act 2 of One Piece begins. The best thing about Act 2 of One Piece is the change it makes in storytelling. And I know, that was the second time I've said that, but turning points in stories are just that important. Without them, the story would get repetitive and boring. A good example of this would be My Hero Academia. And before I say this, I'm not hating on the series. I actually think it's been really good recently, especially season 6 and the manga right now. However, it did make a mistake in Act 2 by not changing its style of storytelling. I won't go into detail here, but if you want to know more, you should check out my last video. To summarize, instead of focusing on the actual plot, it kept on having character-focused arcs just like it did in Act 1, so the tension just wasn't there. One Piece, on the other hand, did the exact opposite. Yes, it did have Fishman Island, which was a little boring, but important to the overall narrative, but immediately after that was the Punk Hazard arc, which literally laid out all of Act 2 for the readers. In Act 1, the Straw Hats were just going to random islands while having a loose overarching goal of finding the One Piece at the end. Act 2 gave a clear direction and goals to our main protagonist, and finally we were starting to see tangible progress towards the end of the series. Suddenly the stakes rise a lot. If the Straw Hats lose this battle, not only does it affect the people on the island, but it also messes up the long-term plan that they have, and Luffy's goal of becoming the Pirate King is pretty much out of the window. And most importantly, the main protagonists of the show understand how important everything is. They remind each other of what's at stake, their demeanor changes, and they fear the consequences of them losing. Not only does Oda change the style of storytelling in Act 2, he also builds on the main conflict that had been brewing since Act 1 so he can set up the story for Act 3. He's set up and built hype for all the different parties that'll be involved, added depth to the mysteries he previously set up, and basically put the world in the perfect position for a giant conflict, all while keeping the reader focused on the antagonist we were currently dealing with. So, once he finished Act 2, there was a seamless transition to Act 3, where there's no boring point. So far in Act 3, we've only gotten one arc, but it's been amazing. There's a notable change in the way Oda is writing now. Instead of building up mysteries and hyping up future events like he used to, Oda is actually revealing everything he had been keeping a secret throughout the story. Characters, powers, plot lines, everything is getting explained. And it's great. We're starting to see the fruits of over 2 decades of storytelling. And the best part about it is how planned out it all is. The characters that are being involved in the final saga aren't just randoms that came out of nowhere. They are people that Oda has built up over the course of 1,000 chapters. The themes that are being explored aren't randomly chosen. They've been fleshed out over all of the arcs in One Piece. The events that'll happen weren't decided at the last second. They've been foreshadowed and built towards over the course of the entire story. And that's the importance of narrative structure that so many stories fail at. The perfect storytelling at the perfect time. Act 1 is an introduction to the characters, the world, and the conflict. Act 2 builds on that conflict and forwards the plot. And Act 3 concludes the story by using all of the things built in the first 2 acts. The greatness comes in the change of storytelling after the conclusion of every act. Too many series will have a major event happen that promises a change in the story, then just not build on it at all. But not One Piece. It is a damn masterpiece when it comes to narrative structure. The density of each chapter is insane, and Oda's ability to set and tie up all of the plot lines is just next level. It's not just a simple shonen manga, it's a work of art that'll go down as one of, if not the greatest of all time. The way he develops the characters, the world, and the themes throughout the series isn't the only thing that's great, it's also the technical aspect of it, how he writes the series. And if you haven't read it yet, read it now and thank me later. Thank you for watching. Anyways, if you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. And also, I made a Twitter account, so if you want more content,
Huh? Hi, Ethan, it's Dad. Hi.
Hi, I've just paid over the second lawn mowing money because the green bin people are picking up today. I'm keen to have weight in the bin so that the bin doesn't fly, and also the grass could need cutting again. So if you want to earn even more money on the grass cutting, you can cut the grass again today if you want.
No, I can't. It's nowhere near. It's nowhere near long enough. You can still see the roots.
Yeah, I know.
And the bin is the bin's completely full.
I know. It's being picked up somewhere.
I don't know if they'll be able to pick it up. Have you felt how heavy it is?
Yeah. Machines come and pick it up and take it on the machine. Truck.
So
listen, actually, there is a spare bag as well. Actually, so bins aside, there is a spare bag. So if you wanted to do it today, you can.
winds aren't going to be getting over 40 kilometers an hour where we are.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, that's what the weather forecast says.
I know, but the weather forecasts aren't always right. Well, that's good news. Where'd you see that then? On the next service app or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We're just it's just rain. rain and 40-kilometer wind.
Okay. Well, I'm still going to turn over the mattress, I'm going to turn over the trampoline, because they're saying that Monday and Tuesday might be bad as well. So, we don't know. So I'm going to do that. But if you want to earn extra money this weekend, you can.
You can try, mate. It's not going to work very well.
No, it's alright. No, I'm just offering it to you. If you want to do it, I won't do it.
Yeah, well, even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Like, physically couldn't, because it's too short. Like, if you put it down, you'll cut it and it just brings up dirt. It just rips the roots out because it's so short.
Too wet, is it? Okay. Alright. Alright, cool. Start there. Yeah. Where are you, by the way? You couldn't find it in this.
I'm in my shed.
Oh, okay. In that case, could you come out of your shed and grab the chair that I put outside? And we'll need to put the weights bench inside of your shed as well. And if you want to bring the chair out and leave that on the deck, do that.
What chair?
The lazy boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
What chair have you put outside?
The one that you can eat.
Okay.
Alright. See you then.
See ya.
Sports Fuel is New Zealand. All health and
Jake sent me this video. I'm not watching it. Jake the Foot, my mod. Everybody knows Jake the Foot. He wants me to watch this. It is a 23-minute video. Just let's watch a 10-second clip of this video.
A vertical wall along the circle, so we can color the two sides differently. Can you gradually turn this circle into this other circle? Where the
Oh, sorry. I was so bored. Well, I'd rather watch Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast knows how to entertain me. I've been waiting to see this goddamn video, so I'm watching it now.
I recreated Willy Wonka's chocolate factory
I
in real
swear
life.
to God, chat, if you watched it without me yesterday, I'm gonna be Don't say anything. If you spoil this video, I'm gonna be mad. Don't spoil it like a loser.
And one of these 10 people is gonna walk away with this chocolate factory.
It's a pretty prize. Actually, no, that's pretty dope. What am I gonna do with a chocolate factory? That's just property taxes, Mr. Beast. You're making me spend money. If that was the prize, I would probably be like, yo, Jimmy, what about a mill?
In we go.
Wait, were these the people that won the golden ticket? Oh, shit! Yo, these are the dickheads that got the golden ticket from his chocolate bar. Talk about being dressed to impress. What the fuck is this tie?
Yo, welcome to my wonderful creation. Oh my gosh.
What makes him want to do this?
It is...
Bro, I've been pausing nonstop for 16 seconds in the video. What makes Mr. Beast want to do this? If I had Mr. Beast money, I don't think my next video idea would be like, yeah, let me just recreate Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Handy over here. Look at the river. It's a chocolate door. Oh, he's taking a bite out of our door.
That's good. These 10 contestants are all here because they found a golden ticket when they bought one of our Feast Meal bars.
For our first challenge, we're gonna play hide and seek. You have 1,000 seconds. Go hide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.
Oh, okay, we gotta go high. Let's go, let's go.
I would dive into the chocolate river and hold my breath.
3, 4.
Oh, okay.
I'm literally fucking submerging. If I went all this goddamn way, spending money on fucking chocolate bars to get a golden ticket, and I get found first, I'm fucking blowing up this building. I'm hiding under the bridge. I'm getting fucking. I would mauled, bro.
Oh, look at this Coca-Cola. Oh my gosh. Oh, yo, dude, it's a marshmallow area. What the heck is this?
201.
This kid is trying his fucking damnedest to be the next Mr. Beast guy. You know how Carl kind of like, have you ever heard of Carl's story and how he became a part of the Mr. Beast crew? And it was like just being entertaining in his videos when he had the chance. This guy is dick riding his way into being the fucking next Mr. Beast guy.
Oh my god, look, it's a marshmallow castle! Oh my god!
What the heck is this?
201. 204.
What about these? I don't know if I can fit in here. See ya.
No, you can fit in there.
Hey, factory's awesome.
Hi. We're working out here, trying to get the deck ready and stuff. So whenever you're free, can you come give us a hand? I gotta go help my dad with something, but I will be back. have a trade gear count. I don't know how to post it. check out the side of the white tab. Where? Right. There. Wow, they have days. Yes, what day was that? I don't want to keep it. It's not coming back in here. Not in here. Okay, take it back up to the very back there.
That's not my business.
Do we have any more of these, like, roll things? Okay. In the where? Drawer thing.
Okay, I'm struggling today. Well, of course I'm struggling today. I need to practice. I haven't even practiced. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. This wave is so annoying. Stop buying this UFO, dude. It's not hard. Okay, I'm clicking way too early there. I keep clicking so early. What am I doing? Oh my gosh, that 44 click, dude. Nice, we did the second drop. Okay. Hey, no scope. My mouse sounds louder. Yeah, I put it closer to my mic. That click is so annoying. I want to fix it. See, if you click that blue orb late, it makes the click better, but it makes that blue orb harder. So there's no point. That green orb is so annoying. Oh my gosh. Keep holding. If you click too late on this click, you hit that black orb a lot more often. Hey, easy. Bum, 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 Why die at the end of this cube one more time? Bum, 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 bum. This pink orb is so annoying. Swagger. I don't even think you can do that. Yeah, if you guys wanna get notified every time I'm streaming, you can click the link in the description to join my Discord server. Oh my gosh, 99. You gonna go to sleep, Dashy? Alright. I should be doing this cube a lot more often. I don't know why I'm not. I hate that every click relies on the click before. It's so annoying, but I like it at the same time. Dude, 90 is so annoying. This cube is a lot easier from other parts though, so I'll be fine. My favorite part in Firework? Tough question. I'd probably have to go to... Honestly... "24 to 32 is probably my favorite. Or 24 to 36. Can I stop dying at that 92 click? I really want to change it. Like, what am I doing? I can get there. I can get to the very end of this cube so many times. I'm just dying to the end of it. Oh my gosh. Like 90. What am I doing? it's fine. The cube is really annoying though, from the cube itself. From anywhere else, it's not even that hard. Well, obviously it's hard, but it's not as hard as it is from it, I guess. This orb ship is so stupid. Alright, I'm gonna turn it there. That should be a lot better. Hardest part of firework. I don't know. Now that I think about it, I'm honestly having a lot of trouble with the 35 cube, so it also could be that. Like, if individual parts... Some parts from other sections are harder, but if we're talking individual part, I'm honestly finding 35 cube to be the hardest. Those dash orbs definitely need to change. I can't keep them like that, how they are. There's no way that anyone's gonna be able to play that. Those dash orbs are just way too hard. Like, they're honestly way too hard. Alright. See ya, anyone that's heading out. Those dash orbs can't stay the way they are. I probably wouldn't use it, no.
Hello?
See, now that'll probably be unplayable hardcore. dash robes are stupid. I don't know. Just to let you guys understand.
Pretty well, hasn't it? Heck, Jimmy. It's going pretty well,
What
hasn't
is
it?
this?
What the?
No one's doing that.
What is that?
Like, I'm
Naked
sorry,
mole
but
rats.
no one is doing that.
Gross. Just put naked into any Google search thing. What the
I
heck, man?
don't think I can keep them the way they are.
Yeah, I know. Like, they did a pretty good job, didn't I? Like, all those years ago, the only way you can tell this is right red. There.
What do you think I should do, guys? Should I nerf it a little bit? Even if I do nerf it, I'm not gonna nerf it that much. Should I nerf it?
I was just explaining that we didn't have
Or should I keep it the way it is?
we had 16
Because, like,
we had
how?
20,000
How am I supposed to do that?
£20,000 would have been higher before.
Yeah, I wish I had £20,000 for that.
If I
Well,
do,
we had
if
that.
I don't end up nerfing
We had
it,
that, and we had 2 babies. And you.
Ed Sheeran.
And we had you.
Did you guys know Ed Sheeran went to...
dude, I've
to-
died to
right
this.
now, let's pick it right next to us.
I've died to this section twice from zero already, and I've gotten here twice.
Oh, I knew we went to that town.
If I don't nerf it, it's gonna take longer for me to verify.
You went to Buffalo.
I'm not even
We
gonna
didn't go
nerf
to
it that
Avondale
much.
College though, where we actually play about Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
All these intermediate players just got free tickets and free performance.
So you gave some to go get a change box and stuff.
I'm so... I
But
don't
they
know what to do.
more than like a year and a half before now. And it's still
And, like, if I do nerf it, it's gonna be stop 1 by so much still. Like, it's still gonna be, like, very much top 1. I don't know. Should I? If I do end up nerfing it though, like, this is unfair.
What's on to next time?
Yeah, thanks guys finally for helping me get monetized. I appreciate it. Oh man. 54 to 82. Not bad. The dash robes, they're literally like, I nerfed them by 0.05%. They're barely even nerfed at all. Yeah, it constantly makes me log back in. It's kind of stupid, but it's whatever. Yeah, guys, you should follow my GeoWeb. My link is in the pinned comment. called Firework by Katy Perry. That's pretty consistent. I just did that like 3 times in a row. And I did the wave. That was juicy. I think I'm ready to go from 0, honestly. Bum, 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 bum. The only thing is, on full screen, that first black one click is extremely hard. It's already hard. But on full screen, it's like harder for some reason. This entire first cue is hard for me on full screen. Bum, 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 bum. Everything else is like better though, and I don't get near the lag I was getting on Windows. Bum, 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 bum. Come on. Bum, bum, bum. Bum. I need to pass the first cube on full screen. Come on. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Come on. I don't understand that. See ya. I don't know. Maybe you should call an ambulance. That's not good if you can't breathe. Call someone. Well, I'm assuming if you couldn't breathe, you wouldn't be alive for 2 minutes, so I'm just gonna assume you're joking. And if you were able to live for 2 minutes without breathing, probably wouldn't be able to type very well. It was already there. Did we hit 6K subs? No. Only like 70 subs away from 6K. It's insane. you guys aren't already subbed, make sure to hit that sub button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't be watching my stream. We're gonna get there from here, and then I'm gonna play from 0. You know, I'm having a lot more fun streaming this today than I was having before. Breaks definitely do help. Geometry Dash, but I'm a living human being. That sounds like a great title. Let's turn up the music a little bit. I'm gonna play Trick Challenge. We're gonna play this. Let's try this. That is a horrible transition. I'll try one more. What is this? Okay. You know, he said now verify firework. Okay. I'll go verify firework. join my server. Yeah, I clicked a little too late. I think on 60, the 2% below click is impossible. In the under version, that's why there's a bug fix in this version. There's probably a few 60 frame perfects in Firework, I know that. There's definitely a few. This first cube is so annoying. At least when you're not consistent at it. Like, I've barely passed this first cube today. Let me time exactly where I'm supposed to hit that board. See, if I hit it like that, I die. But if I hit that like that, I also die. So... best, guys. Ooh. We do a mass amount of trolling. If you guys want to add my account, feel free. Unacceptability. If you guys want to add me, go ahead. Oh, well, that's not my name, but if you want to add me, right there. Trick GMD. I'll accept some people. And yeah, if you also add me on GeoWeb, I'll add you as well. Yeah, if you want to add my account, Trick GMD is where to go. Oh my gosh, stop. Do you ever feel like Pakistan? No. No, I don't ever feel like Pakistan. I don't really know how I'm supposed to feel like Pakistan. I'll accept some people. Oh, 11 friend requests. Okay. It's quite a bit of people.
Why are you covered in sand? Where are you?
Yo, what in the... What even is this area?
Let's go. If I were to hide anywhere in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, I'd probably hide in the chocolate river. I don't.
Mr. Beast chocolate bars are fucking gross, bro. Has anyone had them? Are they good? I feel they taste like shit. Why? They don't look that bad.
Yeah, so if they did, they win. One of our side rooms in the chocolate factory.
Cake.
No.
I can't have it?
Obviously, you can't have a chocolate factory without offices to manage it. Going in here. Let's go this way.
Surely nobody's hiding in here.
I don't see anybody.
Nobody's in here hiding.
Oh, you're so funny, Krista Meme God. Oh, you're hilarious.
It's the Wallum Shrimp room.
What are you saying right now?
That's Marshmallow backwards.
He is actually pretty funny. He's my favorite one.
Calling you, Jimmy. We found this really awesome hiding spot. Oh no! Oh no! And it's the guy dressed up cool. It's the cowboy. No! This way. Watch out for the giant candy cane. You've seen the movie before, right? I have. All right, then you know you must get in the boat. Get in the boat. Don't ask me how, but we put a chocolate river with a chocolate waterfall in the middle of this warehouse.
Probably brown-colored water, Mr. Beast. If I had to take a gander here, I don't think you could float in actual chocolate. I would say that's probably brown-colored water.
Bye, Jimmy! Depart the waterfall. I thought this was gonna stop.
Oh, and he gets nothing. Oh, tell me they give him nothing. I'm setting a flame to the fucking Wonka factory. That is so ass.
The waterfall
That
was
is
supposed
so
to
ass.
depart, but I guess that messed up. Our next challenge is on the side of the chocolate factory. I call it the candy wall of death. Sounds a lot scarier than it is. Yes.
If I'm ever in a Mr. Beast challenge, I would fight somebody to the death to impress Mr. Beast. Put me on your fucking show. Jimmy, put me on your goddamn video. I will do anything to be in a Mr. Beast video. Anything.
Welcome to the rock wall. I gave Chris a gong.
The last person up the candy wall is eliminated.
Contestants, are you ready? Yeah!
That guy is like 50.
Go! Go! Okay. Oh, we already have someone fall. Oh,
my
bro, that
God.
guy is getting up there quick.
Are you all right, sir?
Appreciate it, Stilly.
Let's go. Get up there.
How does he know how to climb candy? Ah! What'd you say? Ah! Okay.
For a chocolate factory.
This ain't no normal prize. This is a whole factory. Bring the button. Bring the button. Okay, now.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Again.
Oh, I cannot.
You're at the... Are you kidding? They made them extra wide. You don't even need shrink. Just stay. It's not a rock climbing wall. It's like a foot of space on each one. Just climb it.
Remember, our chocolate factory is on the line. Actually, the chocolate factory.
Chocolate factory's on the line. Bitch, I will claw my way up there. I will fucking do anything to get up there.
You're climbing. You gotta press the red button.
Step on it. Step on something else with your leg.
Don't let a Reese's Pieces cost you a chocolate factory.
You were right there. You were right there. What the fuck?
Don't let a Reese's Pieces cost you a chocolate factory.
You gotta be goddamn kidding. What are you gonna do with a factory? Nothing. I'm saying I would just sell the shit out of that.
You can keep going.
No shot he actually gives them the factory. Because I feel like that's literally just like, you're gonna go in debt paying off property taxes. And
These two were unable to make it to the top, so the only logical thing to do is rock, paper, scissors.
No, the only logical thing to do is kick both of them out. Actually. Like, no, kick both of them out because they didn't make it. I don't think you would let somebody rock, paper, scissors. This is not a Rochambeau, okay?
Paper, scissors, shoot. Well, congratulations. Head over to the chocolate room.
If anybody should have gotten it, it should have been him. He almost made it to the top. The other girl gave up after 5 seconds.
Here's an umbrella in case the waterfall malfunctions again. Who would have thought a river made of chocolate is not very practical? And now that she's gone, pair up into groups of two. Is everyone happy with their partners? Yeah.
Dude, I just shit in like 720p. This is a Mr. Beast video.
All right, next challenge. And now we have the two greatest eaters in the world. Get out the way. Excuse me.
Fuck? Why are they here?
Stony
This
and-
guy, we watched him deep throat 85 hot dogs in 10 seconds. Dude, this guy actually downs hot dogs. Have you ever seen him? Everybody's seen him.
And they're gonna demonstrate the next challenge. Bring out the chocolate! Not this chocolate. This is our chocolate bars that you can order online.
And we have 2 brand new Feastable.
Why would I want to order them if I can't get the golden ticket anymore, Mr. Beast? If the golden ticket possibilities are over, why would I want your chocolate bar?
Bars, milk chocolate, and sea salt.
Can you show us how to speed?
Okay, sea salt does sound pretty good. Who raided me? Who the fuck raided me? What the fuck? Why did I have 3 separate raids? What the fuck? What the hell happened? Wait, what? How did 3 people raid me at once? Grumpy Muscle, Gloomy Hair, and Guilty Row. Or Guilty Owl. How did 3 people raid me simultaneously? Is this real? That's definitely a bot.
I think you all get the gist. Last team to eat the chocolate bar is obviously eliminated. Begin the contest.
Oh, they just have to down a chocolate bar? Bitch, I would throat that. I would willingly almost choke to death than fucking... then lose the Mr. Beast challenge.
Has officially started. 2 people will lose. You guys literally saw what you have to do. Shove it in your mouth and then shove water in your mouth.
Chew and swallow. Chew and swallow. Water's your best friend. Keep it going. Keep it going.
I think they've made the most progress so far.
I'm lactose intolerant.
That's dark chocolate, not milk chocolate, so you're good.
I'm good.
Yeah. There's a chocolate factory on the line.
I've been trying really hard to lose weight. This is like counterproductive.
It's one chocolate bar. It's one fucking chocolate bar.
You doing okay? Mm-hmm. Bro, you're sweating. Can someone give me a napkin? They are officially our first winners.
Oh, they're a tag team. That's so unfair. What if you get a shit partner? It should be alone. Dude, they tag team that shit? What if you got the weakest link?
They haven't won until you swallow that. We got our first winners over there.
It doesn't matter who wins.
They're nowhere near done.
It just matters who loses.
Come on, you got this.
That team was in last place. Now they're gonna come back and beat you guys.
You got plenty of time. Just focus on getting it down. Mouth open. Hey, we got it. Those two guys are getting close. It's kind of now or never for you guys.
They are about ready to finish. You guys have to go fast right now.
Slam it back.
Right now.
Chris, are they?
They're chewing the last piece.
Right now. Swallow it. Swallow it. You can win. First one to clear. We gotta see open mouth. Open mouth. All right, his mouth's
Me,
empty.
he is chewing so slow.
Swallow it.
How
You
is
can
he
win.
not? Bro, look.
One to clear. We gotta see open.
Bro, that man is fucking taking his grand old time to chew that shit. Fucking gnaw that shit to bits, bro.
Mouth. Open mouth. All right, his mouth's empty. It's down to you.
Get it down, get it down. Yeah, I
His
got
mouth's
it.
empty. They're done.
Yeah, get them out. Get them out. Get them out. Get them out. Get these two clowns out of here. What the fuck is this? Couldn't finish the chocolate bar fast enough. Oh my god.
The chocolate's amazing, but out of portion. Oh my god.
To the chocolate river. Goodbye.
What's it like being in the chocolate river after eating a pound of chocolate?
I feel like I'm too negative to be on a Mr. Beast. YouTube video. Like, even if I had the possibility, I feel like I'm like overtly negative to the point where he would never let me on. You know what I mean? Because like everybody here is always so positive and nice to each other. If I went there, I would actually be like, fuck you. You fucking suck. Couldn't finish a chocolate bar.
I don't know.
Make sure you watch to the end of the video because I have a special surprise guest that will blow your mind.
Elon Musk? Elon?
Now the final 6 contestants are outside.
Joe kind of being an L man right now. How am I being an L man? Because I said I wanted to be competitive in a Mr. Beast video.
And can you guys take your blindfolds off and look to the right? This is the world's largest bottle of Coke. Chandler, can you hold my cane?
Yes.
And there we go. Editing is cool. How'd I get up here? If you land the world's largest Minto and the world's largest bottle of Coke.
Oh, that's hard. Oh, that's fucking hard.
Don't forget.
Oh, this is where I would get out.
Everything, you know, is on the line.
This is $500,000.
Well, I mean, if not more.
Oh, dude, you gotta fucking, you gotta drain that shit.
In the bottle.
Yes, in the
Oh
bottle.
my god.
No. In.
Let's see how many times we can get Chandler to say that. Don't forget, if you make this, that could determine whether or not you win a chocolate factory.
First try.
I think that was...
Camera quality worse on this video than most Mr. Beast videos.
He didn't even hit the bottle. I know all of you have tried our
It's not like bad, but it's like, it looks like they're filming Mr. Beast from like 100 yards away.
So how many of you have used Honey?
I have. I actually love
really?
it.
All 6 of you? Oh, yeah. Good. Honey is a free browser add-on that you
I've
can...
never used Honey.
So on basically all your devices. And what it does is, oh my gosh, we're getting really close. Need to hurry up. When you check out online, it automatically scans the internet for coupon codes and applies them for you. And if
Yo, is Honey actually worth, chat? Is Honey actually worth? Because like the way they promo Honey just seems like free money. Like how the fuck do they make money? How does Honey it is worth? How does Honey make money? Like how do they make revenue?
that I bought,
Or
which
ads,
might save
maybe.
me $447 on. If you miss this shot, I'll let you keep that $3,000 TV.
You let me keep it?
Yeah. All right. It's all yours. Thank you, Honey. And Honey will not only help you save money on TVs, but your favorite website.
I don't think he would have made that shit anyway. You want me to keep it real? Why wouldn't you just go for it in the first place? Why the fuck would he not? That was actually idiotic. He just said if you miss this shot.
I'll let you TV that I bought, which Honey saved me $447 on. If you miss this shot, I'll let you keep that $3,000 TV.
Why would you purposely? Why wouldn't you just go for it? Why wouldn't you just go for it? And then if you miss, you get the TV. If you make it, you're in. What was the point of purposely throwing it on the floor? Yeah, but they have to make it before other people make it.
It's free and easy to install. Just go to joinhoney.com/MrBeast or click the link in the description and start saving money right now.
Yo, they're probably gonna be here for like hours.
This is the one.
Yeah! Let's go!
All right, I'm gonna throw my prediction down. Now that everything's starting to unfold, I'm gonna throw my prediction down and say the blue guy fucking wins. Right? He is obviously the physically most built person here. Most of these challenges have been physically intensive. He is seemingly the most charismatic as well. So I would say that it seems as if he's going to win. Like, almost without a doubt.
It flew so high. Whoever wins the...
That right there is the reason I don't like Nolan, chat. That right there is the reason I don't like Nolan. Oh my god!
Chocolate Factory might have a little stain on the side. Since he was the one that made the shot, he gets to pick who's eliminated. Look at these 5 people right here.
Oh, this is hard.
I mean, it could be you if you want.
No, I think I'll pass on that. Eric, I'm sorry.
Oh, snap.
I don't know. Dude,
Oh, Oh, wait, what? Oh, he gets it. You get to pick somebody to go out? Yeah, I would pick him too.
Please forgive me, Matt.
He is the next most athletic individual.
You know what that means? Chocolate River. This is a smaller version of the Mentos you were throwing. And if you look right here, here is a solid gold Mentos. Here you go. You can sell it when you leave the factory.
You better win this now.
I'm sorry,
How
Matt.
much is that worth? Like 6 grams of gold? More than that. More than that.
To the I don't trust you with the flamethrower. Can you stand just a little more that way? And in front of each contestant is a little peppermint carousel. Can you all stand on it? The challenge has officially begun. Whoever falls off first loses.
Do you feel bad about what you did?
I feel awful.
All right, just step off it.
No, I won't do
Can
it.
they sit?
No. Don't push it. Currently, they're not spinning. So let's move this here. Now they're spinning just a little bit. How is it, everybody?
Pretty fine.
Pretty good.
So far, so good.
I think he was making
See right there, that guy wants to be a part of the Mr. Beast crew so bad. So bad.
How is it, everybody?
Pretty fine.
Pretty good.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Amazing. I love the Mr. Beast crew. Give me more screen time so the chat likes me.
I think he was making fun of it. You want me to ramp it up? I dare you. All right, we're ramping it up. Now they're spinning faster. They all kind of look like NPCs, you know, in the character selection where they
This guy looks like he's gonna vomit.
You know what I mean? If you step, right while you're doing it, and it'll help you with the sickness. Like, because you don't have to spin, you can just step in place.
Don't trust Jimmy. I don't trust that. That seems
That was
scary.
a dumbass idea by the gym man. Mr. Beast just said spinner. Mr. Beast said counterclockwise spin against.
What are you doing?
Why did that hit me in the head? Even though he got out.
Now burn it! Use the flamethrower, Chandler.
I want to show you guys the faster speeds because I spent a lot of money on this. Oh, look at him over there.
I can't feel my toes.
To the river. Before you step in the boat, I need you to sign them a number, 1 through 4 to each of them. Who is number 1?
I'm starting to understand what my opinion on Nolan. I don't dislike Nolan. Like, okay, I said I don't fuck with Nolan. I fuck with Nolan. All the Mr. Beast guys are too nice to hate, right? But Nolan's cringe. I fuck with him, but he's cringe as shit. He's so cringy. It's like okay, this is actually a fact. You know how everybody has that one friend in your friend group that like tries to make jokes and they're always a miss? Like every joke they ever make is fucking miss. Like it's never a hit. That's Nolan.
Number 2.
Justin.
Number 3.
Brian.
Are you just going in order of the layout?
I really
Oh,
am.
that's cheap. All right, fine. Get in the boat.
One last sweet treat for the road, my guy. Oh, thank you. Watch you fall.
Did you like that, Jimmy? Did you like that? Is that gonna make the video, Jimmy? Are you gonna invite me back to the next challenge?
And that could determine who loses a chocolate factory. Let's show you why that's relevant. There's 4 toilets behind me. 3 are real, 1's made of cake. Whichever person picks the cake one is eliminated.
So if they're right,
That was so obvious.
3 are real, 1's made of
That's cake. That one's cake.
cake. Whichever person
Oh, fuck. 3 are real, one's cake. These both look like cake.
one is eliminated.
So if they're right, they're wrong?
No, they have to be right about the wrong one.
I'm not joking. One of those toilets is literally made of cake. And whoever picks the cake
It's
toilet
the third
Oh,
loses the chocolate factory.
We're gonna start
The
things
third
off
one doesn't even look like a toilet.
Number 1 over here. Take your blindfold off. You have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, so you're picking toilet number 2. Stand in front of it and face this way. Now we have number 2.
Oh, they're gonna have to sit on it.
Take the blindfold off. 5, 4, 3, 1. Okay, go for it. All right, that leaves only toilet 3 and 4 left.
And
5,
those are the ones that look
4,
pretty big.
3.
He's gonna choose 3 like a
2.
dumbass.
Okay, you pick.
Yep, idiot. Get him out. They are standing pretty far away, okay? I will give them that credit. Like, we got a close-up, so 3 looks obviously fake. What if we're wrong, number 1? But number 2, they're standing like 30 feet away, so it would be pretty hard to see.
Pick toilet number 3. So I hate
From
to
a
break the news
distance,
to you,
it's hard.
but there's only 1 toilet left, so you can just go
Oh,
walk.
look, he had his glasses over his blindfold. I bet the commenters will get all riled up about that one, right?
3. Okay, you pick toilet number 3. So I hate to break the news.
Didn't you guys love at 10-12 when the guy had didn't you guys love at how do you timestamp something? I don't even know. At 10-12 when the guy had the glasses over his blindfold.
2, but there's only 1 toilet left, so you can just go walk in front of it. 3 of these toilets are real. 1 is made of cake. Can you guys sit down?
Oh, yeah.
You're an idiot! You had the choice, and you lost it. You're so obviously 3. So obviously 3.
Everyone, his toilet.
I would eat that cake though.
Someone made a cake.
No, man.
Oh my god, the cane! The cane is no more. I don't know if you guys have ever made a toilet out of cake, but this took forever, so please subscribe.
Can you flush that?
Who made that?
You know the deal. On the bridge.
Better you than me, dude.
Oh my god.
I had to go at some point if I was gonna win.
Have fun in Arizona. I'll see you soon down.
You had to go at some point if I was gonna win. What are you, Darth Vader? Why does it look like you have shit on your arm?
Oh my god.
What the fuck? You had to leave. You had to go at some point.
I had to go at some point if I was gonna win.
If I was gonna win, you had to go at some point.
Have fun in Arizona. I'll see you soon down there.
Oh my god. Wow, I don't know if this is wholesome or not.
Hey, don't worry, Jimmy. Being a boat captain's a piece of cake.
And we have one final challenge.
I want to make Mr. Beast videos, but I would want to let the contestants be actual fucking dickheads to each other. You know what I mean? Like, let hell break loose. I'm no restrictions. Like, literally no restrictions. They'll sign a legal liability that whatever happens, it's not my fault. And then I would make a Mr. Beast, like a shittier Mr. Beast video, but like, I would let the contestants actually beat the piss out of each other.
Left, I will decide which one of you walks away with this chocolate factory. We have these three contestants, and what better person to decide which one of you wins the chocolate factory?
It's Gordon Ramsay. They're in it because my chat said my chat spoiled it and said it was Gordon Ramsay, and they're literally at a chef's table, so it's fucking Gordon Ramsay.
Then come on in, Gordon Ramsay. Turn around.
No. Oh fucking hell! What fucking piece of disgrace is this? I could have made something better in my sleep.
Oh,
shut up.
How's it going, man? And as you're probably guessing, the final challenge is a cooking challenge.
And they have 45 minutes to make a dessert for Gordon Ramsay to judge. He'll be judging on...
What the fuck? Bro, I wouldn't know what to make. I would make cookies. That would be the only thing that I could feasibly try and make would be cookies. This is blasphemy. Dude, he talks like weird. It's not even an accent. It's just like, it's his tone of voice.
On looks and taste.
Begin. Yes,
looks
don't forget
matter.
the chocolate factory's on the line. I don't normally do these cooking shows. What do we do now?
So this is a tough one, by the way, for the finale. You have 45 minutes to cook. That's
not a lot of time.
That's not a lot of time.
Oh, I just made up a random number.
Right, give us an insight.
Yeah, I don't think you could make a dessert in 45 minutes. I don't think anything would be cooked at that point.
What are you doing?
I have no idea.
You have no idea?
I'm looking at ingredients and I'm trying to figure out what everything is.
So you've never done this recipe before?
I don't know how to cook. I'm just going with it.
What are you working on? I need you to make a cheesecake, which I just found. Probably shouldn't put that on.
There is no shot this fuck makes a cheesecake in 45 minutes. It's gonna be it's gonna be raw as shit. Oh my god, I love this. He's gonna get eliminated. No doubt he gets out. Bro, you're not gonna be able to make that fast.
On the stove. I'm starting off with a funfetti cake.
How much chocolate are you putting in there?
And then you know what it's gonna be? He's gonna rate it. And the guy in the blue shirt's gonna say, you know, I had to go big or go home. You know, I made the risks that I had to make, and you know, I mean, I don't regret it. That's what he's gonna say.
I'm gonna keep the chocolate out of the funfetti cake. It's gonna come in a later moment.
A later moment? We haven't got much time. We only got 45 minutes.
I'm a little stressed out right now.
Are you okay?
I'm good.
He makes everything so much more intense. I love it.
What's the dessert? Look at me. You've done nothing yet.
There's a few different ones. So I'm gonna
a few different ones?
Yes.
In 45 minutes. Can you work and talk at the same time?
I was about to say the same thing.
I probably should.
Let's go.
Honestly, I don't even know what to do. Gordon just
There's no doubt this guy finishes. He just said he's gonna make multiple things. How the fuck are you gonna make multiple things in 45 minutes?
took over, and it's really entertaining.
Just over 20 minutes. Halfway, guys. Halfway to a amazing chocolate factory.
When I win this
Do you think they paid Gordon to be on this? Or do you think, like, Gordon's kids convinced him to be on this? Because it's one of those two things. It's like he did this for free because his kids wanted him to be on it, or it's like he got paid. He probably got paid a bag. No, he probably got paid less than he would have wanted to, but he did it because his kids were on it. He probably got paid like $100 grand.
Chocolate factory, do you want to buy it off of me?
So, I want to see what you make first.
Oh my gosh, the cockiness. He decides whether or not you win the chocolate factory.
Oh, I know. I'm aware.
Hey,
yes.
Turn the gas on.
Oh my god, Gordon actually chooses the winner.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
Did you know how to make brownies before this? I have, but not with.
Are they allowed to use Google? Like, if they can't use Google at all and they're fucking winging this shit, it's over, man.
There we go. Let's go time. Gotta get this in here.
You're burning the.
What the fuck is this guy making? What the hell? Oh, what is this motherfucker making? Creme brulee in this bitch? Oh my god. He's torching that shit.
The mat is burning.
Oh shoot, just a light flame. That's like 8 inches long. So we're good with fire extinguishers. And...
I don't think Marshmallow's with.
Wait, why is Carl just in the video now? Carl just showed up. Did he like sleep in or some shit? Nolan's trying too hard to be funny. Is Nolan gone? I feel like Nolan and Carl are never in the same video. Random for the sub. Krista for the green bets. Hey Joe, I made it to the beach already burnt.
I don't know. We're gonna find out though.
Oh my god! Don't come over.
That looks fucking disgusting. What is that? That's supposed to be brownie batter. Oh, that is so wet. Oh my god, it's gotta be thick. Have you ever made fucking brownies?
Oh my god.
What have you done there?
I don't know.
It looks like you cooked it, ate it, then threw it back up.
Oh man.
I think Gordon's about to have a seizure.
2 minutes.
I don't know what he put in the fucking brownie mix. Like, it looks like there's not even flour in it.
Hey, you want me to blowtorch this for you?
No, not yet.
All right, how about now?
Not yet.
Stop harassing the contestants.
What Gordon's gonna want is you to make it sound like you put in a lot of effort. So if you start using adjectives that chefs like hearing, I put the nerds row here because it really contradicts.
See, Carl's funny. Carl's funny, okay? I fuck with Carl. It looks like a donut. It's a donut with a Nerds rib, some weird chocolate, and then a burnt marshmallow on top.
Chefs like hearing, I put the nerds row here because it really contradicts the chocolate and really lets you.
Shut it down! 15 seconds to go.
3.
How old is Gordon Ramsay?
Oh my gosh.
10, 9, 8.
Oh, that looks good. Oh, the blue guy wins. No doubt. This guy fucking loses. No shot this guy wins. He made actual poop.
7, 6.
He's 55? That's not even that old. I think he just has a lot of wrinkles on his forehead.
Christian, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dude, is that poop on his arm? Like, I know it's probably chocolate, but that shit bothers me, okay?
All right, done. Done. Gordon will now begin judging all 3 dishes. He's gonna give him a score.
What the fuck is that? There's ice cream on the bottom, and it looks like it's floating in some liquid, and then that's like the brownie shit on
Dishes.
top.
He's gonna give him a score 1 out of
That also looks pretty bad.
10 on looks, and a score 1.
He wins. No doubt he wins. Presentation is just immaculate on this. Even if it doesn't taste that good, he actually made a funfetti cake, and it's just like, it's not dirty.
This is Rocky Road on a cone. I melted the marshmallows on top. I had a marshmallow at the bottom because I didn't know what to do at the bottom, so.
I don't know what looks
Oh,
worse.
that's
the one
not
at the
ice
bottom
cream, that's a marshmallow that he jabbed through the middle.
or the one on top. So visually, it looks a little bit pedestrian.
I'll take that.
It looks like you've dropped it. I'm gonna give that a 5 out of 10. Right. Wow. How do we... Does this come with instructions?
Yeah. Oh. What an honest bite.
Aw.
Oh.
Well.
5.
5? You spit it out. How the hell are you gonna give that a 5 and a 5? You spit it out.
5.
Okay.
So 10 total.
10 total.
All right, here's a 10 out of 20.
It looks like a bomb's gone off there. What happened
Not
there?
only that, it looked great before, and then the last minute, he somehow managed to ruin his whole creation.
On top, I have whipped cream that's actually melted.
Yeah, that actually doesn't look bad. There. Like, that looks pretty good.
Somehow managed to ruin his whole creation.
On top, I have whipped cream that's actually melted. It's not there anymore. And then I've got caramelized bananas sitting on top of coconut-covered, chocolate-covered marshmallows.
Have you ever heard the word stop? Less is more.
The same thing.
Yeah. He didn't even cook anything. Like, he didn't cook anything. He just fucking, like, mushed all the ingredients together, didn't bake anything, and just, like, he literally covered marshmallows in chocolate and burned bananas.
Yeah, so visually it looks a mess. 3 out of 10.
Okay.
Oh.
Taste-wise? What's the liquid? Why is it gone all liquid? What do you do?
The syrup flooded out, and it was too much. It's good? No, it's not. I know it's not.
What did you put in there?
Invite me back to the next.
You know, just for that, we're gonna give him $10,000 for coming out.
What about the other guy?
Oh.
Hey!
Thank you so
No
much.
problem.
Yes. All right, but you lost. I'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
All right, so I've created a funfetti cake, chocolate river from the Willy Wonka factory with the boat in the middle that goes on through the waterfall.
so
Had to
good.
add a lot of color. There's a lot of color in the factory.
Visually, I think this looks the best.
I like the story. So visually, it's a strong. It's a 7.
You only had 10. It's already close, and he hasn't ate it yet.
So it just has to be better than a 3 for him to win.
The funfetti is always better, light, fluffy, but I'm nervous.
Yeah? What do you think? I can't tell if he's about to be like, worst cake ever!
Well, he
or like,
swallowed it, so it's more than a 3, because he didn't swallow the other 2.
Oh, it was decent.
Right there.
Oh my gosh.
It's a 7 out of 10. Congratulations.
Oh my gosh! Oh! Okay. That's it?
Bro, but he wins the factory. What does that mean? Like this.
Congratulations! Here's the deed!
Okay, that is not a deed. That was a P.
When the stakes are high at work, your tone matters. Grammarly's advanced tone suggestions can help. Because
You are kidding me! You're actually kidding! You are
Oh, unlucky curse, bro.
when the stakes are high at work, your tone matters. Grammarly's advanced tone suggestions can help.
Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be diving into the human psychology of you anime watchers. I'm not a registered therapist or anything, I'm just someone that's seen too much anime over the years. And I'll be diagnosing you by telling you what your favorite anime says about you. And everything I say is 100% scientifically proven. Do not ask me where I'm getting the source, because on this channel, you know, we have a loving relationship. I trust you guys trust me. I love you, you love me. What's mine, it's mine. What's yours, it's mine. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video real quick, real high. Dragon Ball Z. You like going to the gym or play some kind of sports to keep yourself healthy and have a fit body. You also probably have mild anger issues where occasionally you need to yell out your frustrations here and there. Naruto. You have not seen the majority of One Piece yet. This is either your childhood anime and you haven't grown out of it yet, or you've just started anime recently and of course, you went with Naruto. Don't get me wrong, this was also my favorite anime at one point, when I was 12. Bleach. You say the word Bankai at home randomly with no reason, but to be honest, it's pretty dope.
Bankai. Bankai. Bankai.
Bankai.
Bankai.
Bankai.
Bankai.
Hello, before we get started into the video, I would like to introduce you guys to my store. Yes, I have started a clothing store along with shoes, accessories and all of that, but our main focus on clothes. I'm going to quickly give you guys a little walkthrough of the website just to show you guys how it is, you know, if you're curious. Not sure why the recording quality is so bad, but hopefully you guys are still able to see, and before that, enjoy this beat drop. But yes, check out our quality. This is embroidery. Pow! Zoom in and inspect the quality. But yes, everything is on sale now. Use the code verified at checkout and become a verified member. One Piece. You have wasted too much of your time. Damn you, Toei Animation, for giving One Piece a bad name for its pace. Read the manga, just read the manga. But hey, at least you don't have commitment issues. You probably think you're the shit, better than all other anime fandoms. My Hero Academia. You like it when a show introduces a good variety of characters, each with its uniqueness, and which in this case is very easy to create due to the nature of the show. Power, quirk, just easy to come up. You probably also like most of the side characters more than the main character himself. I've never heard anyone that says my favorite character is Deku. If your favorite character is Deku, can you please stand up and leave a comment? I'm actually very curious. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You're a person of culture. You enjoy a good meme and you definitely smoke weed. You probably also enjoy drama that happens randomly at school or at work, and you're just enjoying it as a bystander, watching it on the sidelines because it's fun. Haikyuu. There are two scenarios in this case. Number one, you actually play the sport yourself. And number two, you've been made fun of being short at some point in your short life, and you think that your short ass can do the same thing as tall people? Full Metal Alchemist / Brotherhood. You have never owned a pet that
Alright, that's enough for today. Sorry about the little intermission. I had to help out my dad with some stuff, but I will be streaming tomorrow.